Our first question is evaluate a to the power 2 thirds. This is our question. So we are given 8 2/3. Now, how can we write this? Now, this is the same as saying we are trying to find the cube root of 8, and once we find the cube root of 8, we then square it. So, when the power is a fraction, the denominator is the root that we're talking about. So here we're saying the cube root of 8, and the cube root of 8 that we know, it's 2, which when we square, we get our 4. That's our value. The second one, evaluate. We are given, this is going to be a little bit interesting because you need to be very careful now you handle it. We are given 81 over 16 to the power negative 1 over 4 plus 81 over 16 to the power 0. So we need to notice certain things here first of all. We need to notice that we know from indices that any number raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. It doesn't matter what number. That's one thing that we know. We also know that when you're given an expression of a over b raised to the power n, this is the same as a raised to the power the same n over b raised to the power the same n. Okay? Meaning that both the numerator and the denominator are raised to the same power. So if that is the case, it means that our 81 over 16 raised to the power 0 is also 1. So with that understanding, we now concentrate on the first part. So we now concentrate on this other one, which is 81 over 16 to the power negative 1 over 4. Okay? Now, there are many ways that you can handle this question, but there's one way that I like doing this. Okay? I like doing it like this. I'll indicate 81 over 16, and then I'll say this here, because I know that there's no negative root, I would say I'll get a positive over positive 1 over 4, then multiply this by negative 1. So that I concentrate on getting a positive root and then later on apply the negative power. So this means that now I'm getting, using this principle here, I'm now getting the fourth root of 81 over the fourth root of 16, everything raised to the power negative 1, which now gives me a very straightforward answer. Here, the fourth root of 81 is 3. The fourth root of 16 is 2. Raise this to the power negative 1. And so this one gives us 2 over 3. Okay. Now, with that, we can say 81 over 16 raised to the power negative 1 over 4 plus 81 over 16 raised to the power 0 is the same as 2 over 3 plus 1, which is equal to 1 2/3. Now, if you want to know how that 1 2/3 has come about, please follow my lessons on fractions. You understand how that comes about. We have the following also. we are given the fourth root of 81 raised to the power 3. We already know what the fourth root of 81 is. It's 3 raised to the power 3, which gives us 27 as our solution. Find the value of n if 4 to the power n is equal to 2 to the power 2 times 4 to the power 2. Let's look at how we can handle this one. Okay, we are given 4n, 4 raised to the power n. 4 raised to the power n is equal to 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 4 to the power 2. There are a number of ways that we can solve this one, and I'm going to show all the 3 ways. Let's start with the first one here. The first one is that we are saying, okay, 4 raised to the power n is equal to 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 4 raised to the power 2. Now, we know that 4 is the same as 2 to the power 2. And so, wherever there is a 4, we are going to replace by that. So, in our statement here, we are going to say, instead of writing 4n, we are going to say 2 to the power 2 raised to the power n is equal to this other 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2. This other 4 also becomes 2 to the power 2, then everything to the power 2. And so here we have 2 to the power 2n is equal to 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2 to the power 4. Remember that when you have raised power like this, you're simply multiplying. Okay? Now, when you have the same power, we are saying is 2 to the power 2n is equal to 2 to the power, you add the powers, which is 6. And so therefore, 2n is equal to 6 and n is equal to 3. That is our 3 there. Okay? Let's look at the second way. The second way is, we know that 4 raised to the power n is equal to 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 4 to the power 2. But then we write 4 raised to the power n is the same as here we find the value, which is 4, multiplied by here we find the value, which is 16. And then when we multiply these two, we find that 4 raised to the power n is equal to 64. But we write 64 in indices form using the base of 4. So we have 4 raised to the power n is equal to 4 to the power 3. And so when you have the same bases, we say therefore our n is equal to 3. The third and very, very easy way, if you have understood this question, is that I'm going to start from this point here. Okay? We have 4 raised to the power n is equal to, we find the value of 2 to the power 2, which is 4, and then multiply to 2 to the power 2 instead of writing 16. But we know that 4 is the same, we know that 4 is the same as 4 to the power 1. And so we're going to say 4n is the same as 4 to the power 1 times 4 to the power 2. So when you have the same base, you add. So 4n is the same as 4n. 4n is the same as 4 to the power 3. Again here, same base, therefore our n is equal to 3. So you see that in the 3 ways that we have calculated it, we still get the n equal to 3. This is why we say that mathematics is a straightforward way, because if the answer is 3, regardless of the method you use, you have to come to get the 3. There's nothing like you're going to find another answer which is going to be correct. No. We can see that this system, this way of calculating has given us 3. You've seen that this way of calculating has given us 3. And also this way of calculating has given us 3. And so these are the ways that we can calculate. And so we've got our n. Our n is equal to 3. So That ends our revision.